When we think of Melbourne's water supply, we often picture big dams and remote catchments. Iconic names like Thompson, Upper Yarra, and Sylvan. But there's another water source flowing right through our cities every time it rains: stormwater. And the question is, are we wasting it? In a natural environment, rainfall hits soil, flows gently through vegetation, and slowly recharges groundwater systems, which often feed streams. Something well understood, given Melbourne maintains large tracts of closed catchments to ensure its drinking water quality remains pristine. But in cities, the water cycle looks very different. When rain falls on Melbourne, it lands on rooftops, car parks, footpaths, and roads. It can't soak in, so it runs off. It enters our stormwater drains, rushes into creeks and rivers, and eventually flows out into Port Phillip Bay. And with it goes everything it collects: litter, sediment, oils, heavy metals, chemicals, even bacteria. This is stormwater runoff. Fast, dirty, and often highly polluted. For decades, cities like Melbourne have treated it as a nuisance to be drained away as quickly as possible. But that's beginning to change. Let's zoom out for a moment. Melbourne is incredibly fortunate. Typically, 80 to 90% of our drinking water comes from protected, forested catchments in the Yarra Ranges. These areas are closed to the public, carefully managed, and free from industry or agriculture. Because of this, the water that reaches our reservoirs is clean, so clean that minimal treatment is needed to make it safe to drink. This approach, preserving catchments to avoid pollution, is the backbone of Melbourne's water strategy. It gives us some of the highest quality drinking water in the world. But that's not the whole picture. Melbourne is growing. The city is now home to more than 5 million people, with projections showing another million or more residents arriving in the next 15 years. That growth means more water demand, more hard surfaces, and more stormwater runoff. At the same time, climate change is altering our rainfall patterns. We're seeing less frequent but more intense rain, which makes water harder to capture and increases the risk of both drought and flash flooding. This is where stormwater starts to shift from a problem to a potential resource. Each year, billions of litres of stormwater flow through our urban landscape, untreated and unused. With the right infrastructure, planning and technology, we can capture, clean, and reuse some of this water. This is known as stormwater harvesting. In parks and development across Melbourne, local councils and water authorities are building wetlands, sedimentation basins, biofiltration systems, and underground tanks to intercept and treat stormwater. That water can then be used for irrigating sports fields, watering public gardens, industrial processes, and in limited cases, even used for toilet flushing and cooling towers in commercial buildings. Some of these systems are visible, like the constructed wetlands in Royal Park or Melbourne Park. Others are discreetly hidden throughout the city, silently collecting and storing water for later use. In newer suburbs, engineers are integrating stormwater harvesting into the design of entire communities, creating water-sensitive urban designs that slow the flow, improve water quality, and enhance public amenity. These projects don't just help save water, they also help protect the environment. By slowing down runoff and removing pollutants, stormwater harvesting reduces loads on our creeks, rivers, and the bays. That means healthier ecosystems, fewer algal blooms, and cleaner beaches. But as with any resource, quality matters. Unlike our protected catchments, stormwater is exposed to urban pollution. That means it requires careful treatment, monitoring, and management before it can be safely reused. For drinking water applications, full-scale treatment, similar to that used in recycled water or desalination, is needed. But for non-drinking uses, fit-for-purpose treatment is often sufficient. Melbourne Water and other water authorities are exploring advanced technologies including UV disinfection and membrane filtration. These innovations make it safer and more efficient to use stormwater across a wide range of fit-for-purpose applications. There are challenges too. Stormwater is seasonal and variable, with peak loads in wet months and almost none in dry ones. That makes storage capacity essential. Systems need to be carefully designed to balance collection, demand, treatment, and space constraints, especially in dense urban areas. Despite these hurdles, stormwater is now recognised as one of Melbourne's key alternative water sources, alongside desalination, recycled water, and rainwater tanks. Together, they form part of a broader strategy known as integrated water management, a planning approach that looks at all urban water flows as opportunities, not problems. And this shift is changing the role of engineers. We're no longer just designing drains and pipes to move the water away. We're designing multifunctional landscapes, places that absorb water, store it, clean it, and make it available when and where it's needed. From rain gardens to wetlands, from green roofs to smart pumps, stormwater is becoming a visible part of our urban future. But keeping water clean isn't just about capturing runoff. It's also what about happens after water leaves the reservoir. Once it enters the system, it must be stored, treated, and distributed across a complex network of pipelines and treatment plants, ensuring that it's safe to drink 24/7. In our next episode, we'll explore exactly how that happens. We'll follow Melbourne's drinking water from reservoir to tap, exploring the treatment processes, technologies, and engineering principles that keep our water safe. I'm Paul Michael Angus. Thanks again for watching.